Hey, me and my friend are out here today at a new spot. We're trying for walleye. It's a pretty popular spot. There's probably like 5 other fishermen. A couple are on a boat. And it's known for being good for walleye, so hopefully here we'll be able to get some. I'm gonna start from this point here with the bottom set up. The water's a lot more still over here because the dams are right there. I don't know how much luck we will get since we moved, but we decided to move because the weeds and rocks kept getting stuck and the current's being a little weird, but I don't really know if here will change that much. But here might be a really snaggy spot, considering I'm already snagged. Look what I just found on my back. This is the second time this has happened. It's a tick. They're out already and they're hungry. But he's gonna get eaten by the fish. Yep. It feels like a walleye. Oh, it's a rainbow. Thank you.
Holy!
We're tied for FP now.
Oh no! Oh, W spot.
Yeah. I thought it was a walleye with the way it was fighting though. Well, that was the first cast here. And I got myself a nice rainbow. Friend was ready with the net right away. Beautiful fish, as always. Let's see if we can get some walleye. I really thought it was one by the way it was fighting. This is the second tick today. This one was on my scalp this time. It's going in the water. Bye, tick. Okay, so now that we got this fish home, this rainbow trout, I'm going to be making a really simple recipe, some fish soup. Just start by cleaning this rainbow. I like to stabilize them by holding them around the gill, and I don't take the head off first because it makes it a lot harder to gut and fillet the fish. Okay, so this one was a female. There's some roe in here. And then this here is the air bladder. And then right behind that is the kidney, that dark line there. So what I do to get that out is I just score it with a knife. And then you can see it looks like blood. And then you just take your fingernail or a stick or something and then run it along the spine and it gets it all out. Okay, so now since this fish is mostly clean, I'll fillet it. So how I do that is I just go right behind the gill plate here and the fin, and then just make a cut sideways like that, right so I'm meeting the spine, and then I turn my knife like this and then start making a cut. And cut right up against that spine, taking off those ribs and the pin bones with the fillet. This is a lot easier with the cloth, so I'm gonna go get one. Okay, so I got some paper towel here. The cloth would probably work better, but and then you just, like I said, cut along that spine. You can see that we're getting that fillet starting to come off with those ribs. You can just check your progress so you can see taking those ribs off. Now we're towards the tail here. We have our first fillet, and then we just flip it over and do the same thing. I did wash the fish right before doing this, so it's a little more slippery than if you were to pat it down or let it dry a little. The skin makes it a little bit difficult, but all you gotta do is go like that. Just all behind those. For pin bones, there's two ways I usually deal with them. The first is just to find them and cut them out. The second, which I prefer because you waste less meat, is to take a UV light, and you can see the bones there. And you can do the same thing if you don't have a UV light by just scraping your nail along and you can feel them. But what I do is I take this UV light and I pick the bones out with my tweezers or with a pair of pliers. So I got a pair of pliers now, and then you can find that pin bone and just grab a hold of it like this, and pull that bone out. So I'm going to do that for the two fillets and then remove the skin. Okay, so now that we have our fillets boned, deboned, and ready to go, we can start getting on the water. So for the stock, I just take our skeleton from earlier and cut off the skin. And the tail and the head. Some people leave those parts, but I don't really like to. And then I also make sure that I take the kidney out. Then I just take that spine with the meat on it and put it in a couple of pieces. Drop it into the water so it can start flavoring it. Okay, so now that we got our fish in the pan, we can start seasoning it. I just like to use salt, pepper, and cayenne usually for this recipe. Sometimes add garlic powder, but I don't always because I also like to add chopped garlic into the soup itself. So for that, we're just gonna add a really tiny bit of oil. Because again, that's also gonna go in the soup just a little bit. While the fish is cooking, I like to break it up into smaller pieces, just so it's bite-sized for soup. So you can just take your spatula and do that as it starts to cook down. Now we can see that we got quite a bit of foam on there. So I just like to remove the fish bones. We're just gonna keep stirring that while it cooks. And then when it's just about done, or halfway done, I like to have my fish and garlic. So this is about the size you want your fish once it's cooked. So now I'll add just a capful or so of oil. Some pepper.
Cayenne. And of course salt.
While it's cooking, I regularly taste it to see if it's where I like it. Sometimes you have to add more salt or make sure you didn't add too much. Now we can add our fish. And just like that, our soup's done. I like to have it with bread or crackers.